LA 1992, not even 21, in the riots. So,
oh, jeez.
Yeah, so I arrived with a boyfriend of mine at the time, and we stopped in Hawaii for we went, Brisbane, Hawaii, then LA. Front page of the news, like LA was burning down. It was the day before it was the riots. We'd arrived, obviously, we were arriving early morning. We were getting into LA 8 o'clock in the morning, and they didn't even know if we could land. And we were just like, what the hell? What are we doing
As
here?
a fresh-faced 21-year-old.
Not even 21 yet. Yeah, I was 20, and I was like, holy shit. Okay, so we actually got in. They literally, the plane was circling, didn't know if we could get in because of the smoke. We got in a cab. Like it was a mayhem. It was, I don't even know how to explain it because it was pandemonium, people running everywhere. Like it was the second day of the riots. The day before was when they broke out. Mm-hmm. So the second day, everything was closing down. We arrived to go to an acting school called Lee Strasberg, which amazing school. And that was the only address that we had. And so we went to the school, and there was a note in paper in pen and paper that said, school closed due to riots. We were in West Hollywood on Santa Monica Boulevard, which a lot of people will know, right next to La Cienega. We were said to the taxi driver, where can we go? It was just crazy. The streets were dead. It was still only 9 o'clock in the morning, but there was nobody around. And he took us to the Ramada in West Hollywood, which I laugh at because if anyone who knows it, it's totally the gay area. So I was fine, but there was still nobody around. But we were right in the middle of West Hollywood. We were at the Ramada. We were calling our parents saying we're safe. We could just get food because there was a Baskin Robbins and a Subway downstairs, and nothing else was open and nothing else was happening. The next morning we woke up and there were gunshots through the Baskin Robbins window, and I was like, wow, this is fucking real. This is
coming from Australia. Yep.
Yeah, coming from Australia, which I very quickly learnt. I was offered to buy a gun before I learned to use a gun, but that offer and being in the environment made me realize I don't know how to use a gun, so why am I buying one? And then the next thing was, okay, I need to learn to use a gun.
So you did?
I did.
Yeah.
I know how to use a gun now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, arriving in the riots was definitely crazy. I'm pretty much get your big girl boots on and let's get this thing done. So we stayed in the hotel a few days, and then I'm like, we're wasting money here. We need a place to rent. I found a place to rent, although we had to pay a lot of money because we were international students. So I was just like, yeah, just get us in here. Then we didn't have a bed. We were literally sleeping in our suitcases, which I've done a number of times now. But then I was like, oh my God. So anyway, we're like, we need to get a bed. So we had to catch a cab down to La Brea, and actually it was Highland and Hollywood, which is way deep in Hollywood, which is a fine area, usually. Yeah. This day, which was probably the third, fourth day maybe of the riots, I get really impatient. So it was a traffic jam, and I'm like, the meter's ticking over, and I'm like, we got to get a bed. We got to get a bed. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, let's get out of this thing. So we stepped out of the cab. We walked down to, I think it was Hollywood, or maybe even one more street. It must have been Hollywood Boulevard. No, it was further down. It was Sunset, Santa Monica. It was maybe Santa Monica, further, yeah. So I got out, we turned around the corner, and there were tanks in the street and guys with M16s. And I was like, get back in the cab, get back in the cab, get back in the cab. So we paid the cab driver but little did I know, he picked the bed up first, put it on top of the cab, and drove us back to our place. Damn. So yeah, so that was my intro to LA.